Actually, just recently came from the Big Island to work on some stuff for a big shop. I was installing switches to kind of better their network. To be able to travel and do it independently for someone who hasn't been working there that long, I think is really special.
At Pacxa, they're strongly committed to workforce development initiatives in the company and community. To apply, visit paxa.com/careers. That's PACXA.com/careers.
Happy New Year! Mario Garcia here, General Manager for Windows Hawaii. Mahalo to our loyal customers as we celebrate our 15th anniversary in the islands. And this month, get 35% off when you purchase 10 or more Ali Extreme windows. To learn more about Hawaii's best home replacement windows, please call 671-0808 or visit trustwindowshawaii.com.
Windows Hawaii for you.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Honolulu will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 808-529-0000 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text JUDGE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text JUDGE to 321-321. That's JUDGE to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
This is ESPN Honolulu, KKEA Honolulu, AM 1420 and K224FR, Honolulu, 92.7 FM.
Is Sports Center.
Good evening, I'm Steve Lennox. The Denver Nuggets, currently the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. Nuggets home tonight looking for a third straight win. Nuggets opened up the second quarter on a 10-2 run. Right now lead the Phoenix Suns 63-43. The top team in the West, the Memphis Grizzlies, just keep winning. Grizzlies running their win streak to 8 in a row with tonight's 135-129 home victory against the Spurs. John Morant, 38 in the victory. The Spurs announcing today that they've sold over 63,000 seats for their game against the Warriors on Friday. That game is going to be played in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome. Knicks at Madison Square Garden beat the Pacers 118-113. Jalen Brunson led New York with 34. Wednesday, Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel sharing the news on Tua.
As of today, Tua has not been cleared by doctors to resume football activities on the field with his teammates. So because of that and because of the time that he's missed, I can rule him out for Sunday.
And with Teddy Bridgewater dealing with a dislocated finger on his throwing hand, that means the Dolphins right now are preparing for Skylar Thompson to make the start against the Bills. 16 straight missed practices and counting. We'll see on Thursday if that number increases. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson out of practice on Wednesday. Still doubtful that Jackson will start in Sunday's wild card game on the road in Cincinnati against the Bengals.
Coming up Thursday, what is at stake for Daniel Jones? And would a win over Minnesota secure a long-term deal for the Giants quarterback? Keyshawn J. Willimax, Thursday, 6 a.m. Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
ESPN Honolulu presents Call the Coach with University of Hawaii Rainbow Warrior basketball coach Eran Ganot. Brought to you by
Ruby Tuesday Hawaii, IBEW Local 1186, Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union, Hawaii Pacific Health, HGEA, and Pacxa.
Hey, welcome in. It is Call the Coach here on ESPN Honolulu from Ruby Tuesday in the Moanalua Shopping Center. We are right in the early stages of Big West Conference play, and a better time now than ever to bring in Hawaii head basketball coach Eran Ganot, as Hawaii has the Saturday-Monday schedule this week in Big West Conference play. A number of teams are playing tonight. Long Beach State and Cal Poly playing tomorrow, and that's because of the weather issues in San Luis Obispo that led to some flooding and some travel issues. So we'll talk a lot about that a little bit later on. It is Call the Coach, so you can call us at 808-296-1420. You can text us at 808-296-1420. You can send in some questions and comments via our different social media platforms at ESPN Honolulu. It is different, Coach, and the preparation's different this week because it's not the Thursday-Saturday. It's the Saturday-Monday.
I don't even think it's the Saturday-Monday. This is so unique that it's actually a Saturday-Monday, Thursday-Saturday week.
That's right. It's some teams have the 3 and 5, but it's a tougher grind when you add in that next week. But not only that, classes are back in session, and so certainly the preparation, the adjustment to preparation has been important this week.
Yeah, no, I think we just came back from the road, and this is you're managing your guys. Everybody in the country's got some banged up guys, and your first week of classes, you always have adjusted classes and some potential class conflicts that you're working through. And then you have a unique week where, obviously the first time since I've been in any league where you have a Saturday, usually Thursday, Saturday, but this is the first of 2 4-game 8-day stretches where in this case, we're Thursday, Saturday, Monday here. We leave Tuesday on the road, play Thursday, Saturday on the road. The next one is, I think, flipped, where we're on the road for 2, come back for a Thursday, Saturday, our last homestand and senior night. So I'm hoping that the stretches and the turnarounds and the events we've already been part of will help us in that turnaround.
I think I know your answer to this, but are you a fan of it?
I think I have my input on everything, and once a decision's made, I always say you flip the script and think it's the greatest thing in the world. So I can talk about that at a later time. But I think there's challenges. I said one thing is was a unique calendar year, and we're trying to fit 20 games in a smaller window. And everybody obviously wants the buys because the buys are important, especially in league. And we didn't have them last year, but then there was some, whatever. But this year they give the buys, but to do that and to get it all, the 20 in, they have 2 stretch. For some teams, we're one of them, that you have 2 4-game 8-day stretches like that. So I don't believe it's happening moving forward. When you say flip the script, it's the mindset of the challenge of it. Just like, hey, we've got 3 tournaments, 3 games, 4 days, quick turnarounds. You play from, and our guys have handled this well. We played in the Diamond Head 22nd, 23rd, 25th, and it's the quickest turnaround before league play. So you either whine and complain about it, or you embrace it and say, what a great opportunity challenge, and here we go.
And it's unbalanced for everybody, and that can happen when you have an 11-team league instead of an even amount. So,
right.
And I guess the way you've looked at it, you've played in those different tournaments, how all of this sets you up when you get to March, being able to handle different types of adversity, meaning you get to March in Henderson and you can deal with anything.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're playing back-to-back and things like that. And so some of these have been, we've had, like I said, 3 tournaments, several of which have had back-to-back games, all of them. Some of you talk about 3 games in 4 days, but we've had back-to-back games in each of them, handled that well. Maybe adversity in the first event that helped us in the next couple events, and again, adversity in the 3 events we've had, and quick turnaround in time will help us in these quick turnarounds. It's not just the turnarounds, it's your ability to balance, keeping we want to keep them fresh, mentally adjusted to what we need, and then when we have some of these stretches, like, everybody's had a couple days off in a row, usually over the holidays. We don't have that opportunity, so we always maybe give them that after the Diamond Head. We didn't have some of that because of league, but the guys have stuck together, embraced, and like I said, the mindset's been good, and they're going to be challenging games because it's league, and we're looking forward to it.
Let's talk a little bit about the last week. We'll look ahead in a little while, and we'll do a couple of player spotlights here over the course of Call the Coach as we get your calls and texts, and we sprinkle them in throughout. But let's start with Thursday against UC San Diego, a team that I know you have given a lot of praise for. They're well coached. They are certainly undermanned, but they give, regardless of record, they give teams challenges. A different challenge every night in the Big West, and UC San Diego certainly presented that. From your perspective, Thursday night, what did it take to get through that first true road game and get the win?
Yeah, and I like I said, we have great respect for their program, their staff. They run great stuff, so we've been dialed in against them. And if you're not, you'll get sliced up pretty good. And unfortunately for us, and maybe fortunately, obviously they weren't undermanned in our game. Pope, their leading scorer, was back for that one, and so I think we just did a really good job of flowing. And obviously, as you know, league play of the year, it's a grind, it's a long season, it's a long game. So I thought the way we flowed early was really good. And then what we'll talk about a lot here is our inconsistency with taking care of the ball. So they made their run, and we finished. Like I said, after that game, we finished the half great. We started off well, and we finished the game well. In between, particularly the start of the second half, they capitalized on our mistakes, and good teams do that. So we know how hard, and they had won at Long Beach already. So beat Cal, things like that. So we knew we had a lot of respect for them. We knew we had to play well. We did, and made big plays down the stretch. And so, winning on the road, especially against them, was a good start to that road trip.
I think the stat of that game was 5 scores in those final 5 possessions. Was it anything? What did you and the staff notice, or was it something he said there in those final couple of minutes that all of a sudden it just kind of clicked there to be able to pull away and not give UC San Diego the chance to play the foul game to try to get back?
Well, we got to hang in there. I think one of the things during that stretch, they cut it. You have to kind of everybody take a deep breath. We're up 4 with 4 to go. We're not down 100. And sometimes human nature. Kids they look at that and forget the perspective of it. Give him credit. We've missed some good looks. The big thing is let's stop, throwing the ball away, which was a big part of the last. I'm happy to say that in some of these games late. I know there have been some ups and downs, but I remember SMU, we were 5 for our last 5. I think this is a clutch team. This is a team that executes. Again, gave us a chance at Fullerton too, forcing overtime. But that was kind of the message. We had, I said this after the game, Noel had 2 good looks, missed them. Now, we're clapping our hands because that's what we want. We got to stay with it. Just that he stays aggressive, and to his credit, he made the biggest shot of the game in that corner. Bernardo was really good during that stretch, too. Bion gave us a lift. But that 3 that Javon hit against their zone, and obviously Noel in the corner gave us the separation.
And a lot of that, too, the extra passes. I still think of Bion against the zone, driving down the right side of the lane, that precision bounce pass that found De Silva at the baseline. He had good lane to get up to the rim uncontested for the dunk. The pass that led to the 3 ball in the corner. People have talked about the turnovers a lot, but one thing.
They should.
Well, to a degree, yeah, you're right. But the assists, timely assists, and kind of the unselfish basketball this team played really led to those positive stretches, like in the end of that UC San Diego game.
Yeah, and I think our guys really take pride in late game moments. I think over the years, before the season, we always talk about the history of our program. We show tougher, tighter, clutch, and then we show plays of hustle, sharing, and then we show clutch plays over the years. And these guys have already added to that. This is like clutch plays over the 8 years, whether it's a stop, big free throw, big layup, big buzzer beater. We've had a lot of them, and I think they feed off of that. So, hopefully we'll be in more of those moments. We've already been in them this year. Yeah. And so I think one of it is experience in past years, experience during the season, ups and downs. Yale, I thought maybe the shot didn't go in for us, but continuing to want to be in that situation is really important. Like you said, beyond before that, that we saw some zone we hadn't seen. We didn't play inside out like we do man or zone. Finally we did, and we got a 3 out of it from Javon. Before that, drop off from Bion to Bernardo. Bion got in the middle and drove baseline and hit Noel in the corner. So, again, man zone, you got to move the ball side to side. You got to play inside out, and you got to play aggressive. I think some of the turnovers happened because of maybe we missed a couple shots and we're hesitating a little bit. And to be honest, today was like our first practice. We just since December 15th, because you're thinking 22nd, 23rd, 25th, 29th, 31st on the road, 5th, 7th. Here comes, we got to give them a couple days in a row, but we haven't had much practice, and that's not an excuse because that's part of what we're going to deal with, and especially in the grind of league. You have to make mental adjustments, but the few times we get to make some more physical ones, we got to take advantage of.
It is Call the Coach here on ESPN Honolulu with Hawaii head basketball coach Eran Ganot. You can text it and call in at 808-296-1420. Let's talk about Saturday.
Yep.
This team had to grind through. It was a tough first half. You take the lead momentarily in the second half. Cal State Fullerton takes that right back. The 3 ball with 2 seconds left from Noel Coleman ties the game. The game goes to overtime. Let's talk about that 3-pointer from Coleman. Take me through whether it was the play call, what you saw that led to the movement for that shot, and the 3 to tie it.
Well, with anything, you always think about the shot, and obviously everything, it's all 5 working together as one. And so there's no panic really with our team. You don't want to be. This is the same as when we're up late. Situations are shot, time and score, but up with the lead, without the lead, and there's just always our mantras, like there's a lot of time left. And we did it again late in the overtime where you make him make plays. Let's make him make free throws. Make him, they had a couple of rolls obviously and bank free throws, but the big thing was we continued to defend during that stretch. Even before the three, we ran something to get a quick bucket. We did. We got an and one, and we got the three from Noel. But they're poised to execute in the timeouts to lengthen the game with getting some key stops or getting guys on the line to give ourselves a chance. That's the thing you do. You give yourself a chance. To their credit, they made the 2 free throws. We had to play to get the 3. Noel hit it, but the handoff, the screen by Bernardo, the weak side action to occupy the weak side, and obviously Noel made a big play, and he's a clutch player. So I think more than anything we used to take him through is the calmness, the look in their eyes, like we're going to – and obviously we always say in those, we're going to win this game. And we had our chance, and we give ourselves a chance. We didn't get it done in overtime.
How much, from your vantage point, did foul trouble play in? Because it seemed like something that really played a part in that first half. It was kind of weird. They gave Samuta Vea a third foul. It ended up getting taken back, so he ended up with 2. I'm sure that plays with substitution decisions here and there. But how did foul trouble play into how that game played out?
Well, it played for Samuta. It played for a second because we do our own fouls.
Right.
And so Dom is on it. And give him a hand right here, Dominic
Dom
Jury right there. So they're sitting there, and you could see it. There's Samuta with 3, and we're going, that can't be right. And so they had to double-check it. And so in that regard, we were on it. So we weren't playing that one. Unfortunately, they had a lot of clock issues during the game. But that's we had other things that we could have done better. Now, we did have to manage even with that. He still had 2, and Kamak had 2, and then I think Noel was navigating through. And our guys did a good job navigating through that. Finished the half well. That gave us this. And as you see, there's been times you gotta you gotta navigate it. So sometimes can we play without him? Sometimes you've seen in the past couple weeks. All right, Noel, get back in there. Javon, get back in there for a sec. Then take him out late. So part of it is you don't want him to sit for too long. But you certainly, and our depth situation with some guys injured, that factors into how you manage 2 fouls. And each player factors into how much you navigate that. And so I think in the game, we were down 12, and it's like, all right, screw it. Kamaka, get back in there, and don't you dare foul. And he did a good job. He hit the 3 in the corner. And then after you got a minute left, all right, get out of there, Mock, and we hung in there. And it gave us a chance in the second half. So you don't want to be in those situations, and I'm glad our guys can be trusted to be back in there depending on how the game's going and where our depth is at. But that's kind of the game within the game, too.
And you had to ask for a lot of minutes from Beon Riley off the bench, and he has found ways to be effective in whatever role you need him to be. I know we seem to talk about him every week, but he has been, and I think the word I've used a lot with you is adaptability to the way different teams are. I think you can also use it with certain players. They've had to be adaptable to the moment and what they've been called upon to do, and he's been one of them.
Yeah, and we're going to still need that moving forward. And the way the game's played, the teams you're playing, and then the foul situations come up, and then all of a sudden, I think there was a 5-6 game stretch starting with UNLV where we've seen a lot of Beyond type 4s. It used to be all power forwards. Now you see some of those, and then you see some of the stretch 4s, and then you see some of the 3-man or the wing playing the 4. And so Beyond gives us the luxury of guarding that pretty well. And hopefully our other guys, and that's where we say, like, it used to be, like, say, if you just talk defensively, how do you guard your man? And now it's, okay, can you guard your man? Can you guard ball screens? And can you defend as a team? All those for bigs, too. The bigs can't just sit there under the basket anymore in certain games. So the ability for us to play big and small has helped us. And like you said, with Beyond, and now getting more reps where we can understand how to play with him at the 4 a little bit more will help us. We played Kamaka at the 5 some. So, and one of the games, we all of a sudden went Noel at the 3. So right. we went 3-guard lineup. So our ability to do that will help us if we continue to understand our flow on both ends.
Some games you face a team that has a 6'3" power forward, like Cal State Fullerton has. I'm glad you mentioned Coleman at the 3. We have seen, and I know injury plays a part in this, but we have seen where you've had Jovan, you've had Justice, you've had Noel, those 3 guards on the floor at the same time. You have to experiment based on injury and other effects on the fly. How have you liked that lineup with those 3 on the floor at the same time?
Yeah, I think at times they've all those weird lineups, I don't know, for lack of a better word, they've done a great job with it to get us in the position we have. But we haven't, it's really hard to I wish we had more time to practice it. The game simulates some things, and we've had these crazy turnarounds. But they're a very intelligent group, and obviously we've been hurt at times with some of the flow. And give credit to the defenses. We're doing a lot of people we're seeing too are doing some of what we're doing, like taking people off the three, face guarding the best scorers, and making people finish, and that some of that I think will help us moving forward.
Well, it's kind of like what you say, especially on defense. Know all 5 positions when you game plan and you scout. It's kind of like knowing some of the and a guy like Jovan, when he's yelling things out in practice, knowing all 5 positions offensively and where to go and how to position. That's the kind of stuff that's helpful in conference play.
Yeah, we're going to be as prepared as you can be. And our guys, our staff works so hard. The guys you've been around them, they're really intelligent. They're dialed in. But then the game is, hey, one of the great things is a game could dictate something that you weren't prepared. Somebody gets hurt. All of a sudden, everybody's in foul trouble. All of a sudden, they went to an adjustment. And you got to make your counter to the best of your ability, provided everybody stepped up and knowing what they're doing, or sometimes you have to simplify. And I think they've done a good job with it.
All right, we'll get to your texts, your calls at 808-296-1420. We got a lot to do here on Call the Coach here from Ruby Tuesday in the Moanalua Shopping Center. This is ESPN Honolulu.
Here's the dream. Keep doing what you love. What drives you? What's your passion? Whether you're catching waves, climbing mountains, or playing with the grandkids, the choices you make now can help you keep living your life your way. At Hawaii Pacific Health, we're here to help you live healthier with preventive care and a personalized approach. Learn more at hawaiipacifichealth.org/healthierlife.
Anyone who has ever needed self-storage knows what a hassle it can be. You have to rent or borrow a truck and then find someone to help you move your stuff. And let's face it, moving furniture and heavy items without damaging them isn't easy. Renting the unit is worse. The hidden fees and admin costs are scarier than the dingy facilities you're leaving your stuff in. Why not use Closet Box instead? Closet Box is self-storage without leaving home. They'll pick up your belongings, store them securely, and bring any item back when you need it. The best part? Unlike traditional self-storage, you only pay for what you store. No paying for unused storage space. Closet Box's background check storage movers are licensed, bonded, and insured and will take care of all of the heavy lifting. Closet Box's local storage centers are temperature controlled and monitored 24/7. Closet Box has an A+ rating from the BBB. Call 877-233-5696 now for the season's best rates. Get $50 off first month storage using code RADIO50. That's 877-233-5696. 877-233-5696.
Some people think of public workers as statistics, numbers, positions that are unnecessary. But public workers include police dispatchers, lifeguards, principals, and other school workers like safety and security specialists and educational assistants, public health nurses, and thousands more real people who play important roles that every community needs. So those public workers, we shouldn't take them for granted. They provide essential services that benefit us all. A message from HGEA.
Extra, extra. Hear all about it. Hi-Fi CU's latest certificate rate is now 4.00% APY. That is truly extra. Get the highest rate in town. Don't miss your chance to earn more. Earn 4.00% APY on a 15-month certificate with a $2,000 minimum. Get your Hi-Fi CU extra, extra rate today. Check out Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union at hificu.com. New money only. Rates are simple interest paid monthly. Rates subject to change without notice. 15-month special for new funds only. APY equals annual percentage yield. Federally insured by NCUA.
Buy more and save more on DeWalt this month. Stock up on accessories and receive discounts on your favorite tools. Buy recip blades and get a discount on a 20-volt recip saw. Pick up bandsaw blades and save on a 20-volt bandsaw. Save on all your favorite DeWalt tools. Every single DeWalt tool is on sale all month long at Slim's.
Slim's Power Tools. When it comes to power tools, there's Slim and there's none.
It's the DeWalt Blitz at Slim's Power Tools.
Call the Coach on ESPN Honolulu.
Here, Ruby Tuesday in the Moanalua Shopping Center. You're listening to Call the Coach here on ESPN Honolulu at 92.7 FM and 1420 AM. We're with Hawaii head basketball boss Eran Ganot. We'll go to the texts. We'll go to the calls at 808-296-1420. We did get a question brought to us a moment ago. Thank you, Rick. Jack asks, what do you say to officials before games. A lot of times officials will come up and shake hands as they do the
those
Pledge of
ones.
Allegiance. I think
that's
that's
a better
what's being talked
question
about.
than what do we say during games. Obviously those are I've been this is my 8th year as a head coach, 20th year coaching all on the West, so we've known these guys for a lot of years, and I know how hard their job is, and part of there's a working the officials component, science to the game, which we do without getting out of control, but getting our point across. But before the game, those are usually that's the most pleasant of the conversations, and like recently it's been Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, how's the fam? It's funny because from my first year to now, like there's some guys we've worked with for 20 years, all 20 years since I've started. So I think that part, and then obviously during the game, getting your point across on the emphasis in a very politically diplomatic, calculated way.
I will leave it at that. But
Is that all right with you?
Hey, whatever answer you give is fine by me. Let's go through some of the text messages at 808-296-1420. Alan from Kaneohe is listening in. Asking about a couple of guys, and we'll do some player spotlights a little bit later on, but a couple of guys outside of that. Harry Rulidef and Morsek. We'll take it one by one. First, with Rulidef, we have seen him in a role where at one point he was your leading scorer off the bench. We've seen that role kind of transition a little bit. But Alan asking about his defense and kind of his adjustments and improvements needed there on defense. What are you seeing there?
No, I think we have some really good freshmen, and they will always, as even the older guys, will go through the ups and downs. And he's so mature and professional. We're very fortunate to have him in our team, and he's gotten great experience early in his career. He's got to stay ready. I think the combination of what we've seen and maybe Beon's emergence at times at the 4 with what we're playing against, or even Moore's emergence, because we threw him in at the 4 and the 5. So I think he's a really mature freshman who can play the 4 and the 5 for us. He can shoot. He understands how to play. He's learning like all those guys will. But I just think for a guy to get the experience he's had early in his career, we love where he's at. We love where he's headed. I don't want to read too much into some of the stuff recently in the playing time. I think that's more a product of the situation and maybe more in Beon's emergence at times than something reflective of Harry. His professionalism and maturity is pretty impressive, and he's in a good place.
Speaking of good kids, the other one's Morsek, and the texter asking about where his improvements are that you're seeing on the offensive side of the ball, because we know with his 7'1" frame, we're seeing it. I go back to the Cal State Fullerton game and just seeing a couple of fouls drawn just by his presence in the paint. Not that he's necessarily doing anything to draw fouls, but his size makes teams kind of have to adjust, because that does make you a little nervous. But what about the offensive end with Moore?
Yeah, I think he's going to that comes a little bit behind the defense and the rebounding, but that's coming. He's got a good hand. He's got a good touch. He, works on his free throws. And I think, again, when I go to him, like, one of the great stories you'll ever be around, learning English at 14 and starting to play basketball at 14, where he's at now, just the improvement he's made since he's been here. Imagine him with a full summer and a full offseason. And, again, a great experience for a freshman at this level. Not many freshmen who get to do that, who have impacted significant games for us. So there'll be ups and downs for him, and he's had some of those, but his attitude, his professionalism, we beat after the conference. He's just great to talk to. He owns everything. Wish I was better. I got to know, there's a lot being thrown at him. When you put all that into context, he's trying to pick up things that guys don't have in their third, fourth year, like different quickest turnarounds he's ever had, different types of matchups, and I think he's handling it well. He's handling the success well. He's handling the adversity well, and I think he's going to help us this year as he has already. And it's going to be fun to just sit back. That's what you coach. Sit back, relax, and kind of enjoy the show and enjoy his development in the process. And bigs always develop a little differently than others, and obviously it's even harder for bigs than before because of the stretch fives out there and the different kind of sizes and the ways people play. So bottom line is I think he's been a joy to be around and coach, and just he's just scratching the surface.
And I hear a lot of guys in practices, complimenting him on his improvement. I know you have as well at times, and your coaching staff has some of the gains he's made in picking all that up, and even the guys noticing that. One of the nicest 7'1" guys that you're going to find anywhere. Is it hard to kind of get like that attitude out of him, or can you? I mean,
the physicality is there. Like he's I think there's, look, this is also, there's a lot going off the court in terms of adjusting to the campus life and the, pace that he's on and the schedule. I mean, he's trying to please. He's a pleaser, and I always, sometimes the older guys get on him, just like, and I always tell, you probably heard me in practice, hey, I can pull up some of your freshman year clips and just remind you how quickly did we forget. Like, everybody's going to, and that's the deal. Like, hey, you guys are not going to support him, and he's going to be an older guy one day supporting the younger guys. But, he finds the good balance because he's such a nice guy to be around, gravitate towards. People in the community already love him, kids love him, and yet he throws people around on the court. Like, that's a good balance to have. He's very physical, and he's very strong. Like, he's not a 200-pound freshman. He's 225, and he's strong, though. He's a strong 245. You ask our guys, and you see the fouls that he draws because he's just sealing. Like, and guys are flying all over the place. So, and he does, whether he draws fouls, he creates lanes for our guys, and he can wear people down over the course of the game. He's just doing things that, whether it's him, first of all, that's for any freshman. There'd be some ups and downs, and he's kind of a late bloomer in that regard. I think overall, like I tell you all the time, he's doing a good job. Like, stay with him, support him, love him, and it's a good balance to have, to be a competitor on the court and an awesome kid to be around off the court.
Now it's after a dunk, just sticking the landing. We've seen him a couple of times dunk it down and then kind of fall on his backside. He's getting there. It's kind of like a baby bird at 7'1" growing.
Well, the guys are always saying, "Get up, get up!" Like, he's the. Yeah, it's part of the fun he has too. Like, he'll get down, he'll jump back up, and I think he plays to the crowd a little bit, and the crowd obviously feeds off the energy he brings, and I think. It's not easy what he's doing. I think there's not a lot of freshmen, and we've had some successful bigs over the years as they've developed, but he's already had some flashes of success that some others wouldn't have, and in big games. So you just got to keep coming with it, and we got to keep working with him.
One other on Ryan Rapp, and a texter from the 347. Thank you for listening in. We know he's come off of injury. I know he has said, hey, he's still kind of working on getting back to conditioning, kind of catching up to everybody, I think is maybe the best way to put it. Could he be in a situation where in the grit of conference play, he may be calling his number?
I wouldn't be surprised by anything, to be honest, and that's the way we approach it. All of a sudden, all those guys have to stay ready. We've seen years where we say there's been a surprise. People always predict who you are based on what you have coming back, what you have coming in, and then there's been a surprise. Sometimes the surprise or the jump may come during the course of the season. You always said you see people's true talents when they get in shape or they get comfortable. And so that's why all of a sudden, Moore's getting a little more comfortable. But we're going to need everybody. We're already down enough guys, and so, his thing has been unique because he's been working his way back, and the timing of it is here he comes, and then he's had a setback, here he comes, and he's had a setback, and then there's people always hear 4 to 6 weeks or 2 to 4 weeks, whatever it is. But there's also then the game speed and the conditioning component, getting comfortable on the floor before. That's time to quit on the court, and then you need to play and have contact and live reps and all those things. So we're just going to keep coming with everybody and continue to challenge guys to stay ready, and we're going to need everybody to get this thing done.
On that note, before break, we don't talk about injuries all that often at all, but what is the hope that Moanalua could be back before the Big West tournament?
It's going to be a challenge because of sometimes it's like Noel last year. He has this injury, which is like, he's out for 3 to 4 weeks. Well, we had 3 to 4 weeks left in the season, and then he's got to work his way back in the sensitivity of the area. So here's Lotto with, we have 8 weeks, and he's got a 6 to 8 week recovery. So I don't know. All that matters is in the meantime is you control, and you got to cheek each guy, and he's doing his rehab, he's doing his recovery, and you kind of go from there. So I think it's always important for, even if guys are out, you see Juan, like, he's out and he's still engaged. He's sitting there shooting, and I don't know what the heck is going on. But I think it's important from a mental aspect to, you're out, but everybody matters in our team, and so I think staying engaged is also healthy. Because we know how hard it is. These guys want to be on the floor. It's tough when you're injured, not being able to do what you love, and and we have a really tight-knit group, which is really important. And so keeping everybody engaged, and then you never know.
Well, Juan's not ruling anything out. What did he say to me a couple of weeks ago? Anything is possible. Because he's kind of moving ahead of schedule a little bit.
Yeah, he's also crazy, and we all know that. And I love him to death, but he's just constantly, and he's the greatest. He's one of the greatest kids you'll ever be around, who's been through way more than anyone should be. And he, after that, the short term, he's back to being playful and himself, and which is awesome to see because, He's been one of the great guys you've been around, and I feel for what he's been through. But he's back to being the prankster and the jokester, and he's like, well, I can't wait, senior night, where do you want me, where do you want me to, like, what are we going to run on senior night when I get in the game? I was like, what is going on? Like, but I you know what, I love it. I love that part, and he's really attacking his rehab. And again, he's got a long road, but he's controlling what he can control, and he stayed engaged, and he's a great teammate. He's a great leader. I love him to death.
There are certain people who had some fun with his scooter. I'm not going to name names, but a few people had a little bit of fun decorating that scooter during the holidays. We'll come back. We'll go through some of our player profiles plus more of your texts and calls at 808-296-1420. We're at Ruby Tuesday in the Moanalua Shopping Center. You're listening to Call the Coach on ESPN.
Introducing the Life Matters Premium Cashback Visa Credit Card from Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union. The new surprisingly affordable way to first-class rewards with 2% unlimited cash back. No rebate tiers, revolving purchase categories, or required product bundling. So take the guesswork out of earning rewards and simplify your shopping. To learn more or apply, visit hawaiiusafcu.com/premium. Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union. Life matters.
It's bowl season in college football and at Leeward Bowl, a family-oriented bowling center and a lot more. Take bowling classes or join one of their many bowling leagues for all ages. You can even rent out a few lanes and throw a private party. Feeling hungry? Head into the grill for a ribeye, kalbi, pork chops, pizza, and fried Simid. Or head next door to 850 for a big collection of craft beers and whiskey. Leeward Bowl, the grill, and 850 in the Pearl City Shopping Center.
Spectrum Business is the no-nonsense way for small businesses to stay connected. Spectrum delivers the fastest internet speeds in the nation, and Spectrum Business Connect is the all-in-one app to make calls, host video conferences, and send texts from any device, anywhere. Get both and get one mobile line free for 1 year. No contracts, no hidden fees, no nonsense. Just business. Visit spectrum.com/business today. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
Happy New Year! Mario Garcia here, General Manager for Windows Hawaii. Mahalo to our loyal customers as we celebrate our 15th anniversary in the islands. And this month, get 35% off when you purchase 10 or more Ali Extreme windows. To learn more about Hawaii's best home replacement windows, please call 671-0808 or visit trustwindowshawaii.com.
Windows Hawaii for you.
Brother, what you doing now? I'm doing my own PV system, and I get homey fall-proof gear. Brother, I don't think bubble wrap and duct tape going to work. Yeah, I get them. Check this out. Okay. Brother, you okay? I think that heat expanding stuff is true. Getting small and hot in here. Oh, no. It's raining over here. How we pop all the stuff? Oh, careful.
Make sure to have an electrical contractor and licensed electrician do your photovoltaic installations and electrical work.
IBEW Local 1186, lighting your path to the future.
The Low Post Podcast with Zach Lowe.
Tatum, I think at worst, he's third in MVP right now. He's playing defense at a borderline all-defense level. He's too young for these conversations to really start in earnest. If he's a Celtic for life for most of his career, he has a chance to be historically, for the one of the two historic giants in the league, as great as any player who's ever worn that uniform, including Bird.
Check out the Low Post Podcast on the ESPN app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Call the Coach on ESPN Honolulu.
All right, we're back here at Ruby Tuesday in the Moanalua Shopping Center. This is Call the Coach here on ESPN Honolulu at 92.7 FM and 1420 AM. We welcome your calls, your text messages. Thank you to everybody who's been getting in touch with us throughout the show. I mentioned we would kind of do a couple of player profiles throughout the show tonight. And one of them, I did want to go to Bernardo da Silva. He had a very nice week. And I'll use Shane's comment on our Facebook feed on Facebook Live. Shane says, great to see Bernardo gaining confidence offensively. Wish he would take the mid-range jumper more if he can, but that mid-range jump shot consistently. I think that would be an unbelievable asset and open more things up. We've seen him take the mid-range jump shot a couple of times, but we've seen him more either high post or low post, looking to pass across the post, looking low. But how would you summarize the last week here for Bernardo da Silva?
No, I agree. Like the confidence he's been playing with, he's one of we can play through him as a decision maker. He's one of the he's got a a lot of assists, and he's got more assists than turnovers, and that doesn't happen very often for bigs. And we can play through him. Look at the passes he's made from the elbows to Kamaka for a dunk here and there. And so I think, and I agree, I think he's he's going to continue to add to his game. And the part he's added is his facilitating, his decision-making, his playmaking. We want him to continue to get to the line, because he's shown in the past he's been a good free throw shooter. I know he had a stretch here, and I don't want him to overthink that. Just keep getting to the line, because you're not someone who doesn't have past success of it. He's a good free throw shooter. He's had a bad stretch, but he can score with both hands in the post. He can run the floor. He's a fourth-year guy in a program, so he's a leader and facilitator in a lot of ways. But I do think those, as you saw earlier when playing McRae or some teams, when they give him space at the mid-range, some bigs do, some big bigs do. He's got to be ready to shoot that and have confidence in him shooting that.
He has been better from the free throw line in the last few
Yes.
games. I mean, how difficult is it to say, I know some of those lulls came right around that front end of the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic, but how difficult is it to say to someone, hey, don't let it affect you, keep focused, you're fine?
Well, you got to show him the confidence you have in him, and he's got to obviously step up and have confidence in himself. And part of that is you gain confidence from putting in the work, which he does, and then seeing success, which builds more confidence, which he will. And obviously lately it's been back to a little bit normal. He's shooting, he shoots his 100 free throws and more, and he's shooting 85% from those. And, and he has so like I said in the past, we'll say guys in the past are looking for past success. They don't have it. You have. He's shot close to 80% from the free throw last year. Made a big jump and made him and us better. So I think just knowing that we're behind, just like I said, when Noel shoots those, you'll see us beyond. He missed over. Keep shooting those. And Bernard, keep getting to the line.
The other player I wanted to put a spotlight on tonight was Noel Coleman, and I am reminded, we do a post shoot around or post walkthrough interview you guys here on Countdown to Tip Off before every game, and on the front end of Big West weekends, it's with you, and we do it with a scout on Saturday. We'll switch it around. It'll be Saturday, Monday. But I remember we talked on Thursday after walkthrough, and we talked about Noel Coleman. People have talked a lot about the offensive side. We hadn't seen a lot of scoring from him up to the last weekend, and you said it, and it's still stuck with me. You're not worried. He's done a lot of things away from just scoring defensively. His passing, which he said, I remember during media day, he said that's one of the areas this year that he knows he can improve on, and he has. He's one of your top two guys in assists.
Yep.
So you said you weren't worried about him scoring, and certainly in key moments like that Cal State Fullerton game toward the end of UC San Diego, you did see the offense start to pick back up with Noel.
He's a lapse killer, and he can go in a flurry, and I think playing right's really important. I think him continue to stay aggressive is really important. Us continue to help him. It's always like point of attack, Noel, team, us as a staff, our players. Obviously teams scout just like we do, and they work hard, and they're keying in on him. And he's just got to stay with it and attack what they're doing. So becoming a playmaker has helped us. Big jump as a assist guy for us. Staying ready, and you said it, late against UC San Diego, the three in the corner, late against, and this is a clutch, really good quality. When you can have people stay in your face all game and then stay aggressive when you get one of those lapses, or when we put you in a situation and you hit the big three to force overtime. How about SMU? He can't get anything going, and all of a sudden it's bang three and then a shot, and so I think that's a heck of a quality. Now we got to do better, and if our guys can step up and hit some of those open shots that he creates, like Javon's figured out, I'm going to get in the paint because people are face guarding Kamaka and face guarding Noel. When we make him pay for that, then things will open up again for those two.
How much of it are opposing defenses adjusting to what your offense is? And one of the examples I would give is we've seen some defenses in your half-court offense try to take you off the three-point line, changes your passing angles, your ability to get the ball in the post, and to take some of those open three-point shots. How much of that has been in that area?
Well, I think, and I say going into this week, it's a physical league, it's a defensive league, and there's more, like I said, staffs work their tails off, and we have a lot of continuity in our league. And there's more film and less secrets. And then on top of that, there's more of an emphasis to taking people off the three and making people finish. And we're one of the better ones. We got to keep that going. But we've seen that a lot, and teams are keen, our guys, just like we do. And so our ability to adjust to that. And I think some of the lineups may have created some, where we're moving all these guys, which has helped us keep their competitive defensive identity. But at times it can hurt our flow and guys getting comfortable in different spots offensively. And I think that's one, a credit to the defense, and two, an area we, myself, need to do better.
Let's get to a couple more texts. And, of course, you can get in touch with us. You can call us at 808-296-1420. You can text us at 808-296-1420. Texter from the 859. You named your captains at the beginning of the year in Samuta, Vea, and Kamaka.
What's 859? Kentucky? Am I close?
Probably.
Okay.
But I think people who've watched this team know from the very beginning that just because you name two guys as captains doesn't mean that's your only two captains. And so this texter asking about making Jovan McClanahan a captain, that's Mark. Thank you for texting in, Mark. He may not be necessarily named a captain, but that doesn't necessarily mean he hasn't acted like one, and he has certainly shown that on and off the court.
Yeah, and I think he understands. I mean, your leadership starts with your seniors, whether the title is there or not. It starts with your seniors, your best players. We always say everything starts at the top. So your seniors, your best players, and your point guard. Okay, so yes, we have two senior captains who've done a great job in Samuta and Kamaka. Noel's all-conference player. He has a leadership responsibility. So there's again, point of attacking team. It's the same in that. Like, you have your leaders, and Javon at the point is an automatic leader. And I think he's grown over the years and even this year. So I think he's a big part of our competitive spirit. So he is 100% a big component of the leadership responsibility we have. And you hear his voice, and you hear his talk and his spirit and his competitiveness. So I think it's starts there, and it's collective. We always say it starts at the tops. We're not and we can have open, honest conversations, as you know, with our guys. And there's so many guys who always, you come in there and staffs, and they pick on the young guy. And like, that's the easiest thing in the world to do. Like, yes, the young guys make mistakes, so we'll coach him and demand things without being demeaning. But it starts at the top. We'll go after our best players in a constructive way, right? And if they can take it, it trickles down, and that's how we do things. And so that's why all those two captains, and obviously Javon and one of our best players, Noel, all those guys have a role. Bernardo is his fourth year. So those are the titles, and those guys have done well with it, but it is a leadership group.
When we come back, we'll continue with your calls and texts. We've gone through the player profiles, and we'll look ahead as Hawaii has the start of 4 games in 8 days. Saturday, Monday, we'll go through some of those matchups coming up on the other side of this break. Here at Ruby Tuesday in the Moanalua Shopping Center, you are listening to Call the Coach here on ESPN Honolulu.
Support your back-to-back national champion volleyball team. January 22nd at 5 p.m. at Simplify Arena in the Stan Sheriff Center. It's the 13th annual A'oakoa UH Warrior Volleyball Fundraiser. Lots of heavy poo-poo stations with hosted beer and wine. You can also bid on your mobile app for memorabilia, including items from the NCAA tournament. Plus, golf, hotel and ticket packages, and more. Purchase a table or get individual tickets. For details, visit hawaiiathletics.com and click on the men's volleyball page.
Buy more and save more on DeWalt this month. Stock up on accessories and receive discounts on your favorite tools. Buy recip blades and get a discount on a 20-volt recip saw. Pick up bandsaw blades and save on a 20-volt bandsaw. Save on all your favorite DeWalt tools. Every single DeWalt tool is on sale all month long at Slim's.
Slim's Power Tools. When it comes to power tools, there's Slim and there's none.
It's the DeWalt Blitz at Slim's Power Tools.
Pacxa is Hawaii's premier technology provider and systems integrator. They harness the power of bleeding-edge technologies to help local businesses realize their full potential. Their team delivers customized IT solutions that enable nearly 450 commercial, government, and nonprofit organizations across the state to maximize opportunities and pursue innovation. To learn more, visit their website at Pacxa.com. That's PACXA.com.
Are you wondering what to do with that spare car or truck of yours? Maybe you thought about selling it but don't want the hassle. You considered giving it to a friend, but you're not sure if that'll work out. The answer is simple, my friend. Donate your car to Kidney Cars. Yep, the National Kidney Foundation of Hawaii makes donating quick and easy, and you'll get a great tax deduction. So go online today to kidneyhi.org and schedule a free Kidney Cars pickup. That's kidneyhi.org.
Some people think of public workers as statistics, numbers, positions that are unnecessary. But public workers include police dispatchers, lifeguards, principals, and other school workers like safety and security specialists and educational assistants, public health nurses, and thousands more real people who play important roles that every community needs. So those public workers, we shouldn't take them for granted. They provide essential services that benefit us all. A message from HGEA.
Hello there. My name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is you know you're gonna get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. This is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
Order the original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Call the Coach on ESPN Honolulu.
And we're back. It is Called the Coach here at Ruby Tuesday in the Moanalua Shopping Center. In case you missed any of the show, by the way, we will re-air it tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock. And, of course, you can check it out on demand, espnhonolulu.com, and also on the Sideline Hawaii app. All right, Coach, we'll talk about this weekend coming up in just a moment. A couple more texts here. Texter from the 202. Coach, great job on the season. Would you rather have speed or height?
What a great question.
There are a lot of eyes that just turned just
those
now.
Those are tough. Like, you like speed, you like height. Man, that's tough. I got to pick one. You'll be right. Live with it.
Yeah.
Speed's always good, especially with the. I think that may have shifted over the years. I want both. We want height, we want speed, but I guess if I had to pick one right now, speed.
Okay, we got that. One more here, and this texter talking about offense, and one of the questions that came around, there's been times we've seen some offensive droughts with this team, and we've seen this team break through them. But what have you seen when this group can get into a little bit of a lull? What are you seeing on your front that leads to that, and how do you break them out of it?
Well, it's continue to stay confident with it. And I think sometimes you break out of droughts, and most teams have this. We've put people in a lot of droughts, is get to the line, get it inside. And I think presenting more opportunities for different guys to get in the post too, not just a heavy dose of Bernardo, but especially what teams have done too is not just taking off the three, but switching 1 through 4, and it's sometimes 1 through 5. So can we punish the switch with the penetration or at the rim or on the offensive boards? I think, like I said, Kamaka in there, Samuta in there, Bernardo in there, putting more guys in there so to stop the drought, either getting an easy basket or getting to the line. But I think that's an area all teams are working through right now, and you're seeing those scores in the league. And so I think the combination of staying aggressive, because I think I said earlier, this team's gotten better, and most people struggle. Let's say they miss some shots or miss some good looks, and they start affecting them on other ends. That doesn't affect us on the other end. It may have at times made us a little bit more hesitant. So that's where we're staying aggressive and getting some easy baskets.
Let's get a question on site here to our right. Tell us your name and what's your question.
Hi, this is Chris Hart.
Okay, yeah, we know
Not
who
me.
you are, Chris.
Oh,
all right, hey, what's your name?
Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Hi. I think this is a great team. It's absolutely fantastic. So I think we're going to go to the dance. We're going to win the big dance. And then after you come home with the big trophy, I think you should become athletic director at UH.
He doesn't want to take a pay cut. Oh, was that on the air?
That was on the air. Oh, boy.
Let's just say that's one of the hardest jobs in the history of jobs. So a lot of respect for people who have held that title.
I guess I'll use that on the back half of that question. I know it's still about a week fresh, but your reaction to David Matlin retiring. I know you two worked very well together.
Yeah, I mean, obviously when you heard it first, over 8 years, and I've been here in different stints. I've been in college athletics for 20 years. Athletic director job's not easy, especially here, especially with what's going on, the changing landscape of the NCAA and the rules, and then with the 2 conferences. I think it's probably been one of the hardest jobs at one of the hardest times. And everybody's got ups and downs, and we all have ups and downs, myself included. And I think overall we're very fortunate to have David Matlin. And he's a guy who is really important. He can hold coaches accountable. He's very approachable. Everybody has conversations with him. And they're obviously athletic directors want to support the coaches, allow them to support their student athletes, and sometimes you have to say, no, we can't do that, and yes, we can, and here's why. And I think the balance of being able to do that with myself and other coaches, and I've seen our team going first we came in during a lot of uncertainty with our program, and he was a big part of navigating us through that with integrity and class, and just seeing him. It's a really important to see him not really just deflect credit, take criticism, never point fingers, handle with class and professionalism at every event ever. You got the men's volleyball going through national championships, women's basketball in the NCAA tournament, navigating through a lot of things and a lot of the challenges, trying to balance the deficit, COVID. And so you look back, and it's a thing that's like, first I'm like, I hope he's okay, and he and his family and all those, and I know he's in a good place. And all you can do right now is just thank him for what he's done for us, and I think he's done a heck of a job, and through significant challenges that a lot of people just wouldn't have gone through. And I think at the end of the day, you can tell a lot about a man and his character with, does he handle with class, professionalism? I certainly think he's done that.
All right, let's get through what's ahead. Saturday, Monday, starting 4 games in 8 days. Long Beach State, who is supposed to play tonight, they will end up playing tomorrow night because of the flooding in San Luis Obispo. And we're thinking about the folks there in northern down to southern California who've been seeing a lot of rain here over the last week. But they will play Cal Poly tomorrow, then make the flight out after that and head here to Hawaii. But Long Beach State coming off of a loss to UC Irvine in their last game, 87-70. Kind of your thoughts on the beach coming into Saturday?
Well, I think what I've said about the last couple of games, and now you're seeing a trend. Our league is going to be very physical. This is one of the more physical leagues. So it's not, it used to be several teams, but everybody's really physical. And so this is going to be a very physical week. But I think I'm going to say that moving forward the rest of the year. They are a team that have lost a couple close games, and you saw how they responded last year when they had that early. They reeled off 10 in a row. They are +6 on the boards. They forced 15 turnovers. We just had 22. They return an all-conference player of the year candidate in Joel Murray. They have one of the better rebounding bigs in our league, maybe the best last year, and they added one who's better than him right now. So the combination of the experience they have coming back, Jadon Jones is back, and they added a key rebounding piece, make him very dangerous. So expect it to be a physical, hard-fought game, and then you got a quick turnover at Northridge, who's been very defensive, very physical as well. So going to be a battle.
Yeah, the Traores, you're talking about the 2 good rebounders there for Long Beach State, averaging by themselves about 17 rebounds per game. And then CSUN is interesting. I know they're keeping UC Davis kind of quiet near the 60-point mark as that game's coming to its conclusion. It looks like UC Davis is going to hold them off on the road. But again, you've said it many times. This conference, regardless of who you play, it's a battle every single night. And this conference has been so wide open at times that you have to be on your A game or you could find yourself on the wrong end of a result.
Yeah, and it's a long year. I mean, everybody's saying ups and downs. I mean, we're 4 games in. There's 16 coming. And so I think I'm just looking forward to the challenge of it and the battles that'll come with it and the physicality. I think the mindset is, let's go. This is what you live for. And I think that's great. It's a great league. It's a well-coached league. The young talent improves in our league. And I think there's a lot of continuity in our league. And I think when people get back to league play, they know everybody's 0-0 again, and there's a long slate, and you're fighting for a seed, and you're fighting for momentum going to the conference tournament. So everybody should be ready for a grind of a conference season.
Question is, are the people in this room ready? Are you guys ready for conference season? Oh, come on, guys. That was kind of like, oh, we're still in preseason. Guys, are you ready for the grind of conference season?
Hey.
All right. That's what I was looking for. Especially right here. Coach, it's good to see you. We'll have 4 games in 8 days starting on Saturday, so the grind, it's madness mode in a few days. But thanks for giving us some time here and Call the Coach tonight.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Hawaii men's basketball coach Eran Ganot joining us here at Ruby Tuesday in the Moanalua Shopping Center. Again, Saturday night, 7 p.m., Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center. Monday is a matinee against CSUN. That's a 5 o'clock tip on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so make sure you join us on Monday. And then this team heads back on the road Thursday, Saturday for some key road matchups as we work through the first half of Big West Conference play. Thanks to our great crew here across the room. I'm Josh Pacheco. So long. Call the Coach here on ESPN Honolulu.
This has been Call the Coach on ESPN Honolulu. Brought to you by
Ruby Tuesday Hawaii, IBEW Local 1186, Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union, Hawaii Pacific Health, HGEA, and Pacxa.
Here's the dream. Keep doing what you love. What drives you? What's your passion? Whether you're catching waves, climbing mountains, or playing with the grandkids, the choices you make now can help you keep living your life your way. At Hawaiian Pacific Health, we're here to help you live healthier with preventive care and a personalized approach. Learn more at hawaiipacifichealth.org/healthierlife.
Extra, extra. Hear all about it. Hi-Fi CU's latest certificate rate is now 4.00% APY. That is truly extra. Get the highest rate in town. Don't miss your chance to earn more. Earn 4.00% APY on a 15-month certificate with a $2,000 minimum. Get your Hi-Fi CU extra, extra rate today. Check out Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union at hificu.com. New money only. Rates are simple interest paid monthly. Rates subject to change without notice. 15-month special for new funds only. APY equals annual percentage yield. Federally insured by NCUA.
Happy New Year! Mario Garcia here, General Manager for Windows Hawaii. Mahalo to our loyal customers as we celebrate our 15th anniversary in the islands. And this month, get 35% off when you purchase 10 or more Ali'i Extreme windows. To learn more about Hawaii's best home replacement windows, please call 671-0808 or visit trustwindowshawaii.com.
Windows Hawaii for you.
Have you been to Midas Hawaii?
Hello, Tim here from Midas Hawaii, where we are more than just mufflers. We are complete auto care, rated #1 in customer service. We strive to make your experience more enjoyable, whether it be for a walk-in safety check 6 days a week, brakes to radiators, or oil changes and steering. With 6 locations on Oahu, 2 on the Big Island, 1 on Kauai, our goal is to expedite your service and get you back out on the road. We also want to help you save money. For great rates, check out our webpage at MidasHawaii.com for specials, online deals, for services such as oil change, safety checks, and maintenance packages. And let's not forget about our tire services too. Midas is a one-stop shop for all your car care needs and is proud to be locally owned and operated by the Pereira family. Come in today or call us for an appointment. Remember, it always pays to have the Midas touch.
You came for this, we do that. So we might as well.
your official radio home of University of Hawaii sports is ESPN Honolulu, KKEA Honolulu, 1420 AM and